Hey bud, I'm gonna go over, wherever the camera is, go over some drug calculations made easy for you real quick. So there's three things that you gotta find out to do your calculations. The first thing is your desired dose. So in this case with the epi, let's go with 0.5 micrograms per kg per minute. That's the first thing, a desired dose. Sometimes it's called in a doctor's order or whatever. I always like picture a piece of paper. So that's my order there. And then we're gonna times that by. And I always like to think of the mix part of it like this. If you hold up a bag of fluid and you inject the medicine in the bottom, the medicine's on the bottom, fluid's on the top. So in this case, let's say we're gonna put 1 milligram of epi into a 100 ml bag of saline. So the fluid always goes on top. And I always visualize this with like, here's my bag of fluid, and on the bottom, you got the attachments that you can mix stuff in. And then I imagine that that's where I inject the epi. So the drug is on the bottom and the fluid is on the top. And then the last thing is, if required, a drop set. And you said you have 20 drop sets where you're at. So we'll do 20 drops equals 1 ml. So this is how we're gonna run our formula for the epi infusion. So let's say the patient, for sake of argument, weighs 80 kgs. So we'll put the 80 in here. We're gonna run some quick math. 80 times 0.5 is 40. And the micrograms stuck around. So 40 micrograms. The next thing we have to do is we have to convert this from milligrams to micrograms or micrograms to milligrams. I'm gonna go by changing this one to micrograms. So 1 milligram equals 1,000 micrograms. All right, so now that we have everything in the same value, we're going to reduce and then multiply. I like to divide everything by 10, which is basically canceling out zeros. So this 0 cancels out this 0. This 0 cancels out this 0. This 0 cancels out that 0. So I pretty much have it all divided down. It's simplified as much as I can get. Now I'm going to cancel out like values. So this microgram cancels out this microgram. This ml cancels out that ml. So we're stuck with real easy math. 40 times 2 equals 80. Drops stuck around because it wasn't canceled out. And minutes stuck around, it wasn't canceled out. So you're looking at 80 drops a minute with that 20 drop per ml set. Now, let's say, because you might be working at a place that has a IV pump. In order to calculate for an IV pump, super easy, we're gonna replace that 20 drops per minute with a 60 drop set. So when I'm doing my math, so this is how you do it on an IV pump. I'm gonna change this to a 6. Because everything else would have been the same. So now we're looking at 40 times 6, which is 240 drops a minute. But with a 60 drop set, drops a minute is mLs per hour. So on an IV pump, this would be 240 mLs per hour. Super easy and super simple. Hope that makes sense.